hello, hello. So you're getting ready to jump into the future. What better time to talk about uncertainty after a very good lunch? That uncertainty is rising. The one thing I can tell you with certainty is uncertainty is here to stay. So we better get good at dealing with it. So let's talk about how you navigate this a little bit better. And that's what we have to do, I think, when we're thinking about the future. When we think about uncertainty, we need to retrain our brains to not look at the obvious. We need to look at the gap. One of my clients happens to invest a lot into SEO and SEM marketing campaigns. So they run e-commerce stores, they spend a lot of money on SEO, SEM. They have some very interesting proprietary data, which they shared with us, which they allowed me to share with you. The evolution of AI is that I have an AI, which knows me really, really well, and then I will tell it, hey, I want to run a marathon, and like, what shoes shall I buy? And then it will go out and buy those shoes on the Adidas website because it knows that the Adidas shoes fit me best, right? It's a wild world we're moving in. Again, uncertainty. So we are living in this interesting world. Cost of computation has collapsed, storage collapsed, networking collapsed, and the question will be, what will the world look like when the cost of programming will collapse? What does the world look like when we automate the software engineer? How do you actually deal with uncertainty? So we're living in this world of uncertainty. AI will make it worse, whatever. Nobody ever succeeded by failing, regardless how fast you fail, right? It's really about something else. Of course, there's something impacted there. And here's my invitation for you. As you're thinking about navigating uncertainty, doing things better, think about failing as an acronym. Because the acronym FAILED stands for your first attempt in learning. It's like rolling a dice. And when you roll the dice and you get the 6, you're successful. Everything else, you're not successful. Your chance of success is 1 in 6. Now here's the thing. If I can get you to roll the dice multiple times, you increase your chance of success, of course, dramatically. So the game you want to play in a world of uncertainty is roll the dice faster. Roll the dice more often. Google does better than anyone else is when they look at a new project, they ask themselves, what is the hardest thing to prove to be true, which the project hinges on, and then we prototype that first. Test the service interaction. You want to know how a service interaction works? Role play it. You can do make-believe. It actually works. I've done this many, many times. Just like go to a customer and like, imagine the following thing works. The customers are really, really good at giving you this feedback. So the question, the number one question you want to ask yourself to get better at prototyping is this question. Is this really the quickest and cheapest way to test your assumption? And I guarantee you, in 99% of the cases, it's not. In 99% of the cases, you're still way too high fidelity, you spend way too much time and way too much money. So it's an incredibly powerful way to do this. Now, second part, science of testing. This goes back to Jacob Nielsen. I don't think I need to introduce Jacob Nielsen to you as the best user researcher we have on this planet. He showed that if you have 5 users, you get to an 85% confidence interval. That is way enough to figure out if something works or doesn't work. So do yourself a favor, it's just like quickly iterate. Again, we're living in a world of uncertainty. You want to get to this world where you roll the dice more often than ever before. This is a quote, it's a relatively unknown quote from Jeff Bezos, who said, doing things at high speed, that's the best defense against the future. And I think he's spot on. I think that's exactly how you prepare yourself for an uncertain future. Be quick, be nimble, iterate. If you're leaning away from the future is going to win every time. Short warning, there are absolutely no maps. I know that there's a lot of people who tell you like they know what the future will look like, or they show you like ways to navigate the future. I just showed you somewhat of a map. Be careful. Everybody gives you maps, absolutely. But when you zoom in on the maps, you will see that there's dragons on those maps. So be very careful. Thank you so much. Hope you can like navigate the future a little bit better.